I don't really know my thoughts on litter. I'm a member of a litter group in Liverpool now called Penny Lane Wombles, started by Kath. And just to put some thoughts into perspective this week, there's been a ban on single-use plastic forks and things like that. And yes, I think it's good. I don't think it's anywhere good enough. The biggest, I pick up probably a plastic fork a week where I walk, and I walk about 6 miles. No doubt there are more in cities, and yes, they probably should be banned, but I think we're all going around it, well, not us, but the government and the councils are going around it the wrong way. So people walk through a woods like this, they bring with them a coffee cup or a bottle of Coke or a bag of sweets, and as they're walking, a small minority of people, when they've finished or as they're eating, they drop all their litter next to them. There is absolutely plenty of bins in here everywhere. They've only got to carry it a few hundred yards to a bin, if that. But the point of fact is they've carried it from a shop this far, or they've carried it from a car, which I think is the biggest problem, is people carrying stuff from cars. You basically just, there's no reason why not to put it in the bin. It's just lazy. I've always put stuff in the bin. I think it's because my parents have taught me that way. And my girlfriend and her daughters and people I know always put stuff in bins and they don't litter. I think the way to tackle litter is, yes, reduce single-use plastics and deposit return scheme. I think that's really important. But I think there needs to be a real hard, firm stance on fly tipping now, because you can actually measure that and you can actually fine people huge amounts of money, £30,000-40,000, and take their vehicles off them. And all it takes is hidden cameras in hotspots. After you've got that going, there's a company called Litter Cammy and maybe others around where you put roadside cameras in hotspot places where people throw things out of windows, and you find them by their registration numbers. They're easy to do. The hardest thing to do is stop someone walking through this woods littering. You can only put massive fines in place, but that you need a lot more manpower to be out and about and catch people doing it. But it is possible, but you can do it with starting in cities and move out and have people on regular litter patrols. I'm sure the amount of litter fines will pay for all these people and pay for all the technology and pay for people sit in an office and issue all the fines. There's no reason why not. I think the problem is the fines aren't enough and there's not enough action in catching people. I know some of the companies in the past have, actually the ironic thing is one of the companies that was thrown out of Liverpool was a company called Kingdom. And the ironic thing is it's now realised that they were actually fining people because people said it was easy because they were throwing fag butts on the floor. Well, people do throw fag butts on the floor and they're one of the biggest litter plastics in the world. At the moment, since smoking has sort of changed a little bit to vapes, one of the biggest things I find most of the time is vapes. I probably find up to 40-50 single-use vapes a week, maybe more. More than I do find plastic forks, that's for sure. So there's so much litter being thrown about. I walk the same route every day and I collect 2 bags of litter a day on average in the winter. In the summer it's 4 to 5 to 6. But nothing's being done. The local authorities can't handle that. They're gone are the days where we used to have a man out with a brush and a barrow every day of the week sweeping all the streets. It can't be afforded anymore. It's just not possible. So all these litter groups have started, and don't get me wrong, I do it because I had a stroke and it helps me. But I think we all hope one day we won't have to do it and we can just enjoy a walk in the woods or a walk in our cities and towns where we don't have to trip over litter. Sorry about the breath, I'm going uphill. But so there's a lot of passionate people now getting involved in picking litter up for other people, but I'm not too sure it's helping. I think it's not helping because we've now alleviated some of the local councils from having to do it, but they're not putting money into anything else, and the money they're saving by us picking up all the litter should be going into technology and people to find people for dropping it. It's just beyond me as to why no one cares. I think if everyone just stopped picking up litter, and it looked like some of the places in India where it's just litter everywhere and all our rivers are full of litter, then maybe something will be done, but I think that's too late. I think more needs to be done by the government and more needs to be done by local authorities. More fining needs to start now, and really heavy fines, and DEFRA need to get involved in this and really look at single-use plastics. COVID's not helped, There's masks and test kits everywhere. And instead of reducing single-use plastics over the last 5 years, we've increased them tenfold with vapes and masks and everything else. So it's getting ridiculous. It is getting ridiculous. I'll try and do some videos over the next few weeks and put them on Instagram and Facebook, not Facebook, I haven't got Facebook, and Twitter to show you the extent of the problem. So we'll see where we get to in about a year's time. To be honest, I don't think much will change in a year's time. I was walking along this road here past this care home. I walk here most days, and it's not too bad because I cleared it yesterday. But one of the worst things is business premises, and with business premises you get visitors, especially care homes. You get people that visit their relatives, and also you get the people that work here. And one of the problems is these gutters, as you can see, are pretty clear at the moment. They get filled up with litter by people getting in and out of cars. Some of it's actually hidden by leaves. But so here we go with vapes already. So we've got discarded vapes, and then obviously once someone's discarded a vape, they'll need another one. Bags of food, and then you can already see it from here. There's vape boxes. So vape packet, vape box, another vape box, another vape box, and more litter. It just goes on and on and on. Wherever there's a business, a shop, or any type of premises, then you're going to have litter. Worst thing is, a lot of these businesses do not have anything written in their contracts where they have to clear up outside their shop, so they just leave it for the councils, and the councils don't have the funds to keep clearing outside a shop every day. I think every shop that ever gets open that sells waste products, from a newsagent's on the corner to a takeaway, should be responsible for clearing up outside its own premises within a certain distance. The other thing that really, really bugs me is celebrity endorsements. Now, it's very hard for me to say because I've done it. It was cameras, as lots of people know. And I used to do a few adverts for Fujifilm for cameras. So that, yes, it's a celebrity endorsement, but we've just had a recent celebrity endorsement for these Prime drinks. Now, you would have thought in this day and age, they wouldn't be such selfish bastards and be thinking of themselves and how much they can make out of doing a celebrity endorsement for a drink. You would have thought that they would have actually thought, oh, let's do something really good for the community, and let's get something out there with a company to stop people littering. No, they've created a drink in a plastic bottle that just gets littered everywhere. So after paying an extortionate amount of money for a bit of pop in a bottle, which is ridiculous, now we're going to have littered bottles of Prime everywhere. So basically it's a Prime mess. It just goes on and on and on. Just as you think you're getting somewhere, it gets worse. As I said, I started litter picking because of having a stroke, and it gave me something to concentrate on. And I know a lot of other people with depression and other mental health issues, etc., that all do litter picking. It's amazing how once you start picking up litter, A, it gets a little bit addictive, and B, it really, really does help, especially if you've got anxiety issues with going outside and things like that, because all you're doing, I can see a little bit on the other side of the road, I keep looking around for litter, all you can do is see litter all the time. And if you have anxiety, the more you're looking for the litter, the less you think about the problems you've got in your own head. It's an amazing way of fixing mental health issues as well. I didn't really want to make this as long as it is, but got a few other things to say, so I'm going to keep going for a bit. I've not used YouTube for a while, and I've closed a lot of my accounts down, and I'm a little bit annoyed with myself because I closed down my larger Instagram account, and I think in a way I did it is because the exposure it had from Fujifilm, etc., was not working, because it was all people with followed me for the Fujifilm side of things, and then once I started talking about litter and mental health issues and everything else, everyone drifted away, which is fine. But my mental health issues are obviously with my stroke. I'm coming to terms with that, and the brain damage I've got and anxiety I get from it, etc. I do get a little bit obsessed with things since my stroke, so obviously litter's the thing I'm obsessed with. I won't even start on driving in Liverpool, and ironically this is a 20-mile-an-hour road. It won't even get you started on driving and parking in Liverpool, which has become another one of my things. I'm not an evangelist in any of these things, it's just that you notice when other people are talking about it just how bad it is. So I think as far as litter's concerned, we do need an approach from Keep Britain Tidy and all the other people out there with the city councils to work together to tackle this problem. I think it starts with education in schools, and it goes through to really, really strict fining, appropriate fines for the action. So if you're dumping tyres in the middle of a forest in a lorry, then have your lorry taken off you and be fined £35,000 because you're not doing it once. And if you're a sort of person that walks along and chucks litter on the floor, you're harder to catch, but you should be embarrassed by doing it. And people say it's a certain type of people, and I'm telling you now, that's a load of crap. I used to teach photography workshops, as many people know, and I've taught multi-millionaires to people that haven't got a pot to piss in. And it's different types of people just litter. It doesn't matter whether they've got any money or they've got millions of pounds. And you can get that from you go in a cafe with them and you have a coffee and a tea and some food. Some people will pick their trays up and put all their stuff in the bin. Some people will leave it there for someone else. And it's got a hell of a lot to do with just being brought up so you just don't give a shit and someone else clears up after you. And that needs to change. And I think it starts with parents and schools. And hopefully we can then teach the future generation to stop chucking their shit everywhere for everyone else to pick up, because that's what's happening. If you are watching this and you do think you can do something about it, join a local litter group. If you're in Liverpool, there's Penny Lane Wombles, there's Litter Clear Volunteer, there's Good Gym, there's quite a few. Find a volunteer group. You don't have to pick with them. I don't pick with the groups because I prefer to be on my own. I'm out today with my dog, having a nice walk. I haven't got my litter picker with me in my bag today because I wanted to do this video. But so find a group, join them. That's where you're going to get a free litter picker and some bags, and then get out on your own, find a patch and go and pick. Just do a small patch one day and then expand it out. I mean, yes, I do 6 miles a day and I cover quite a lot of areas. I really enjoy it. I have a day off every now and again. I'm retired, so I can do it. A lot of the volunteers go to work during the week, work really, really hard jobs, and then get out in the evening or the weekends and just pick a little bit of litter. Some pick a bag a week. I pick probably 13 to 20 bags a week in the winter and probably 40 bags in the summer, who knows. But every little helps, as they say. And you get loads of comments when you get loads of thank yous. You get a few people saying someone else should be doing that, but they're not. And you get a loop, there's a vape on the floor here, right behind, right down here. There you go. But it's all our responsibility. It's our country. And it's our responsibility to sort this stuff out. So anyway, I probably bored you with this one, but I'm going to make a few more, put some on Twitter and everything else. So enjoy your weekend, and if you feel like it, get out there and just pick up one piece of litter today and 2 tomorrow, and do it like that, like a pyramid litter pick. See you later, take care.